Rich Pellegrino, Rich the Equalizer Pellegrino, from the Global Woke Institute, which you can find on our website, howwokeami.org, howwokeami.org, and our social media pages at Global Woke Institute on YouTube channel. You can find all of this there. Longer videos. This is just a short message. Okay, and we're going to start off with a short message from the Global Woke Institute today. Okay, global, with the emphasis on global. Right now, friends, we are in a transition period, an Aquarian period, Aquarian age period, a tipping point period where the world is going through a transformation, uh, a positive, progressive transformation, thankfully. We're witnessing history around the world. Africa, led by a small country, Burkina Faso, um, uh, and a revolutionary leader, young in his 30s, Ibrahim Traore. There's great videos on him I'm sharing on my pages. What he's doing is uniting his country to take control of themselves and not depend on America and the West and Europe and so forth, and to nationalize his resources, gold, and so forth, and stop letting America and the West and Europe extract and colonize his country as we've been doing for centuries. Um, and following his lead, other countries, South Africa, Ghana, and so forth. So African unity is coming about finally after all these years of disruption and colonialism, to engage in self determination without the oppression and manipulation of America and Europe. And so this is a great time to support that. You can bet for sure. By the way, this is what Gaddafi was attempting in Libya. Um, he was separating his country from the American dollar and from euro dollars. So was Saddam Hussein, by the way. That's the reason we took him out. And that's the reason we took Gaddafi out, because he was uniting Africa against the West, not to fight the West, but to manage their own countries and engage in self determination, which is a big threat to our economic system because it's based on the exploitation and slavery of people in Africa and other countries. To this day, it's based on that, our economies. So uh, I'll be sharing videos. Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam here has put out some great information, but many other journalists, African journalists, and so forth, um, have put out some great YouTube videos and information on what's going on in Africa, this transformation. And we need to support it. We're going to be, our institute and other organizations are going to be reaching out to the diaspora, the people of African descent who are not in Africa, which is called the sixth region now of Africa, the Black Americans, African Americans, Africans in America, West Indians, uh, and people of color throughout South America and other countries, because that's where the slaves were all exported to, not just America. And so now we're uniting them and working with them to support Africa from here, you know, economically and so forth. So that's going on. Southeast Asia is uniting, the Southeast Asian communities and countries, and so forth. And it's happening around the world. China, um, China is becoming independent of us thanks to the tariffs, thanks to the bungling of Trump and his cronies. And by the way, what's helping this awakening, what's fueling this awakening this divestment of America and Europe is the fact that we've elected a clown, uh, uh, a, a, um, a lunatic, um, and just a fool, basically. And now people are realizing that America, if half of America elected such a fool, then America must be fooling itself and fooling the world, and has been, and uh, the other countries in the world's learning not to depend on anything good coming out of America and its allies in Europe. So really, he's done a great favor to the world, um, and Trump and MAGA, um, by their bungling and showing the fact that we have no empathy for humanity. All our empathy is for dollars and materialism, and by any means, to acquire them by any means, whether it means oppression, slavery, genocide, and so forth. Uh, so, also, of course, the Middle East is arising to put Israel in check. Israel is little America in the Middle East, and so everybody's now realized that Israel is genocidal and is not Jewish. It's a secular state that calls itself Jewish and is oppressing Palestinians and other Middle Easterners, and so and other Arab countries and Muslims. So the whole world is waking up, and so we're going to be supporting that, putting out a lot of information on that. But believe me, the U.S., the CIA, the military is making plans to take out Ibrahim Traore and any leaders that try to unite these countries, those countries that are divesting of American influence and money. Um, and so we're going to have a strong movement here to support them and to expose that corruption and that our uh, assassinators, the CIA, which are tools of our government, of our economic system, of our corporatism and oligarchy. Okay, so that's what's going on in the world. Great things. Be happy, support it, learn about it. Now let's focus back briefly within America. Okay, within America, uh, we need to focus on healing. We need to focus on getting rid of the triple evils that Dr. King spoke of racism, poverty, and militarism here. We can't help or do anything right around the world because we don't have it, can't get it right here within our borders. Okay, so we're going to focus on that again, uniting the people of color, mainly the Black Americans or Africans here, diaspora, six region people, and the native indigenous people here in America. Those are the only two groups that can help us, that can heal us. They've been through centuries of oppression, and guess what? They're still here. Okay? And they are to lead us from the to the promised land. They are the Moses of this time, okay, for America. Because America's greatness lies in its diversity and spirituality. However, it hasn't realized either yet, or a good segment of the population and our leadership haven't realized that that's our strength, not material strength, not military power and strength, but it's spiritual strength based on diversity, oneness, and and our great African American and Native American heritage. Okay, uh, who they've been through the fire, tested, and have come out as the strongest steel, just like the metals that are forged with hot fire, and gold actually, or and diamonds. So they've emerged, okay? And our role as so-called white identified people, even though there's no such thing, that's just a made up, fabricated thing about races and so forth. But us of European descent, our job is to be allies to support our Black, African, and indigenous people to lead, okay, to lead us to the promised land, to the promised America. So we're going to be working on that, getting together leaders in those communities around the country to have a powwow on how to heal us from within, because you can't do anything until you're healed from within, and simultaneously building beloved communities here, um, to survive the coming storm, because any transformation, just like in the world we see all kinds of upheaval, wars and so forth, the same thing is going on here. We have uh, earthquakes, climate disasters, mass murderers, killing each other, gun violence. We have it all happening within our country. We have to heal that. So those are the two things that we're going to focus on. We have our every Sunday at 1 o'clock. We have a Zoom uh, discussion with people from around the country and even around the world who join us. And we're going to be setting up some others, some conferences, some powwows where we can consult on how to take back this country and heal it and revitalize and birth it anew in the spirit of Dr. King's uh, beloved community, where in which he said we need a revolution of values, a revolution of spiritual values, replacing where we prioritize people over material things and property. That's our revolution. Okay, thanks. Check us out and like us. Join our YouTube channel, and if you want more and to be kept update. And email us through the website if you want to get on the emailing list of the activities that I've mentioned. Ciao.